I made a resin bowl and I am so excited to show you how I made it. This bowl was used with Unicone resin and a 13-inch resin mold that I got from Amazon. I will link all items I am using in the description box below. The mold holds 32 ounces of resin, and I know I do not want to fill it to the top, so I mixed up 24 ounces of resin. My daughter helped me pick out the colors. She said I should make a bowl with pink and bright green. So I picked some pigment powders from my Hippie Crafter collection. To mix my resin, I add a little bit of resin into each Dixie cup and then the pigment powder. Once I get the pigment powder stirred and blended, then I'll add the remaining amount of resin. I found this is the easiest way to mix in pigment powder without making a huge mess and to make sure that the powder does get incorporated and mixed in. Also decided that I wanted one more color, so I am using my sparkling mica magic powder from Unicone, and this is such a light powder. It needs to be mixed carefully because it does tend to float up into the air, but it is super sparkly and beautiful and shimmery. I start by adding the colored resin into the center of the mold. I didn't mark the center, I just eyeballed it. I am doing the puddle pour technique where I'm layering the colors on top of each other, and then I decided I was just gonna pour colors alternating around in circles. Once I got the colors filled and layered in the circle, I used my stir stick to pull out the center of the design so it almost looks like a starfish. I added some more of the bright white and then pulled the outer border to the center. I do love this effect. It is so pretty, almost looks like a star flower. Once I get the resin filled, the design how I would like it, I will cover and I will let this sit for 6 hours with this resin. After I let it sit for 6 hours, the resin should pull off from the mold and still be soft and pliable. I did test this to see how it would pull off. I checked it every hour, and at 6 hours was the magic mark for this resin. Now I'm trying to decide if I want the top or the bottom of the bowl to have the strong design. I decided finally that I want the inside of the bowl to be the pretty side and the outside to be more of the muted design because both sides actually are really pretty. I did use a bowl that I purchased from the Dollar Tree. It's in the party section. It's a super inexpensive, lightweight plastic bowl. I folded my resin so I can fit it into the center, and I tried to get the center into the center of the bowl. Once I did that, then I'm shaping the edges to be this pretty scalloped effect. And then I found out that one side was higher than the other, so I had to adjust and just tweak it and push it as best as I can. I continued to use gloves during this step because I don't want any fingerprints on the mold, and since the resin is still soft and pliable, it could be susceptible to the fingerprints. I did put a little bit of cling wrap on the inside because I wanted a little bit of weight in the center, just to make sure that it pushes down naturally, and then that way it can have a solid bottom foundation to sit. Once I get it in place, I will just let it finish curing the remaining of the 24 hours, and then I can pop it out of the bowl. Okay, it's time to pull it out, and with just a little bit of tweaking, a little bit of tugging, it does pop out of this bowl. It is strong and solid at this point. It still needs some more curing time to be sure that the resin cures all the way through. But for the most part, I am so excited with this bowl. This is one of my first bowls I've done. I tried it several years ago and it was just a hot mess that I never went back. But now that I know more about resin, I'm more comfortable. I think this is super fun. I decided that the top border needed a little color. So I got one of my liquid chrome paint pens and I decided to color in the side edges, just the top. Now with the paint pen, you do have to press down to release the ink. I should have done this on a paper, not on the bowl itself. Luckily, the paint didn't come spilling out and making a mess on my bowl. It worked well for me, but I do highly recommend don't push the tip down directly on the bowl. Get a little piece of paper just in case the ink flows out. I think the silver is a beautiful addition to this bowl. I love it. I'm going to set it aside so it can finish curing and add it to my Christmas gift collection for my family. Let me know if you have any questions with how I made this bowl. I will be happy to answer them. Thank you for joining me with this project, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!